everybody, this is Freedom is the Right coming to you with a brand new video review. Today we're going to be taking a look at War for Cybertron Kingdom Deluxe Class Huffer, and I have loved playing with this guy. He's been a lot of fun to mess around with. There are of course a few nitpicks that I will get into as we go along, so without any further ado, let's get into this. And here we have Huffer in his vehicle mode, and it looks really nice. Coming to the front, you can see there is some really nice silver paint all along here for the grille, for the front bumper, and also the lights. The headlights have been picked out. There's a nice transparent blue plastic here for the windshield on the side as well. More silver paint here on the top. The stacks along the side are also painted. The wheels too, they roll very nicely. Overall, it's a really well done piece. There's some nice sculpted detail here on the bed of the truck. The one thing for this mode I will say that's unfortunate is, as you can see, the hands just kind of hang out here. It would have been nice to see them maybe engineer this a little better so the hands are hidden away and not so obvious. But other than that, here is the underside. As you can see, you can't see his chest, you can see the back of his head here, but it does compact up fairly nicely still. And he does, of course, roll really nicely. And also coming here to the back, it's kind of hollow and gappy back here too. I would have liked to see this covered a little better. There's some nice red detail back here for the back lights. And of course bringing in his accessories. Here we have his gun, and this is cast in an orange plastic like his body and painted in this nice kind of smoky black plastic. There's some really nice sculpted detail, it looks really great. And also we do have this piece back here, and this acts as kind of a shield in robot mode. It's a really nice piece. It's painted in that same kind of smoky black. Also some silver detail along here. And the cool thing about his weapons and his shield is that they do store in vehicle mode really nicely. They kind of become a part of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and as you can see there are 3 ports, and also there is 3 pegs here, and this is just going to peg in like that. And then this trick is really neat. We're going to take the gun and we're going to split it in half like that, and now there are little grooves here that are going to peg into the sides. There's little pegs here just like that, and the same on the other side. And so there his weapons and shield are integrated, and it makes kind of a bed for the truck, and I really like that. I like it when they find ways to do weapon storage that doesn't look like goofy or silly, not just plugged onto the top. So I really do appreciate the time they took to incorporate the weapons in the shield like that. And another really awesome thing to showcase is if we come and take off his weapon, and also the shield part here. So he actually is able to tow Optimus Prime's trailer, just like he did in that one episode of the G1 cartoon, because of course they had to include that gimmick. So there is a port here, and the trailer does peg in, bringing in Optimus Prime's trailer. You can see it ports in nicely like that, and there you can have Huffer towing Optimus Prime's trailer. And it's a really cool attention to detail. I'm really glad that they included that with this. And so that pretty much covers everything for the vehicle mode, so we can go ahead and get down to the transformation. So the first thing we're going to want to do is come here to the back, and we are just going to want to disengage the legs here and fold them down. And as you can see, there are pegs here that port in back behind the legs here. And then we can go ahead and pull down the bed of the trailer, and there's some ports here and pegs down here for that, and go ahead and flatten it out. And then we can go ahead and pull the legs apart, and that's his lower half all done. So the next thing we're going to want to do is come to here and flip up his hands like so. Then we can just kind of pull them back and lift the front of the truck, and it is on a double hinge, which allows you to move it out of the way and kind of pose it in robot mode however you want. And so the next thing we're going to want to do is take this assembly here and pull it down a little bit, and then the wheels are going to collapse up inside on both sides. And we can go ahead and rotate his head around, and then we can collapse this piece back up like that and clips into place. Now we're going to come here to the arms, and we're going to untab them. There's a little tab in there, and then hinge these up and clip them into place. We can do the same on the other side. Clip it into place, and then we're just going to rotate the arms so they are oriented appropriately. And then the last step is this section here, the front of the truck. You can kind of angle it however you want. You can leave it like this. You can hinge it down. You can hinge it even further if you want. I personally like to just kind of hinge it like that. And of course, there we have Huffer transformed up into his robot mode. And he looks really nice. He's really well done. He's very G1 accurate. I love the paint scheme on him, the coloration, the head sculpt is really nice. And we can come in and take a look at that. It's done in a really nice silver paint, some blue for the eyes. The blue doesn't show up quite as well as I'd like it to. The color kind of blends in a little too much, I think, but it is nicely sculpted head. Coming down to the chest, you have the nice Autobot insignia. I like this little different shade of blue they painted here, looks really nice. Some nice silver here down along the crotch plate. Nice sculpting all along here, and the legs done in an orange plastic, which looks nice. He transforms up really cleanly. This piece here, of course, is accurate to the animation. He's supposed to have this backpack here, which I really like. And like I was talking about, the double hinge in here I like, so you can kind of angle it however you want. It's a really nice feature. But the one area that is kind of not as well done is the legs back here. You can see they're very hollow and gappy. I am appreciative though that they did take the time to at least sculpt some detail inside the hollow gaps, but of course it would have been nice to see this area covered up to make for a little more clean look. Obviously I don't really care as much about what the back looks like as the front, but like I said, just a little minor nitpick for this guy. So we can go ahead and take a look at articulation. The head is on a ball joint. It can rotate side to side. It can hinge down a little bit. It can't really hinge up all that much. Full 360 rotation on it. Coming here to the arms, you can rotate them a full 360. They hinge out, in and out like that. There is bicep rotation. And he can bend. Looks like it's a little bit under 90 degrees, but still a good range of motion. There is no wrist rotation. It's a deluxe figure, so that's not surprising. And then there is also the waist rotation here. Coming down here, there is some thigh swivel. He can kick out this far. He can kick back that far. He can kick out this far. He can't quite do the full splits, but he still got a good range of motion there. You can do a very deep, due to transformation, bend at the knee, way over 90 degrees, which is nice. And the toes don't hinge forward and back, but you do get the nice ankle rocker joint there. So of course we can also bring in his accessories to arm him up. We have again his weapon, really nicely done. We can go ahead and plug that into his hand. And we can bring in the bed of his truck, which we can plug onto the side. There's a port here on the side. And there he has his shield and his gun, so he's all armed up and ready to fight. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for the robot mode, and like I said, it looks really nice. And for some comparisons, first we're going to bring in War for Cybertron Earthrise Deluxe Class Bumblebee. So you can see these two together, his fellow mini-bot. Obviously Huffer's a little bit on the taller side, which is accurate to the scale in the show. Like Huffer and Brawn were sort of the bigger mini-bots. They were almost like a regular size car bot. So they look really well together, I think. Next we have War for Cybertron Earthrise Deluxe Class RC. And as you can see, she's a little bit taller than him, as she should be. They look really nice together. Next we have War for Cybertron, well no, actually we have Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Jazz. You can see how these two look together. And now we have War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager Class Cyclonus. See how these guys look together. And last we have War for Cybertron Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. And these guys look really great together too. So that just about wraps it up for War for Cybertron Kingdom Huffer, and like I said in the beginning, I really like this guy. He's really fun to play around with. I like the engineering on him. I think the paint, the coloration, he looks very accurate to the animation model, and he's overall fits in really well. He scales really well, and he's a lot of fun to play with. Of course, there were the nitpicks with the back of the legs being hollow, which isn't the best, but it's not super bad. And also I would have liked to see maybe a different color for his eyes so it pops a little more on the face sculpt. And the hands sticking out on the back in vehicle mode, I really wish those would have been covered. But overall, really great figure, and I would have to give him an 8.5 out of 10. So let me know down below if you agree, if you don't, and until next time, I will see you all later.